What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie2988 coming at you live once again through the power of the internet. And this rambling video is probably going to be very different from my normal ones. It's probably going to be a lot more low energy. I'm probably going to keep my eyes closed a good part of the time because I feel very weird and very messed up right now and pretty ill. And we'll get into that as we go. But I want to talk to you about the last 24 hours of my life. But before that, we'll talk about the other stuff that's going on. The gaming channel is getting a lot of Pokemon unboxings. I know some people aren't feeling it, but a lot of people are. The growth on that channel continues to be great. Me and my wife are trying to come up with stuff to go in between those unboxings because I still have a lot of stuff I've bought to unbox laying right here next to me, including not a very old set, but a 4 or 5 year old set that I was able to get a hold of at a reasonable price. Full box of that. That's something I want to do either on stream. Streams are going great. YouTube is doing pretty good after that whole panic attack of the ad-friendly stuff and realizing that things are probably going to be okay. I'm doing pretty good there, and I have now got caught up on work and most of my emails from vacation. So I enter this weekend only about 2 or 3 days behind in work. So I think, I'm definitely getting on top of things, which is nice. It's been difficult because I've been a little sick this week for sure. Coming in, my lower back was hurting worse than it really hurt in a while. My anxiety has been in rare form, causing me to have a few just crying sessions and stuff like that. You know how it goes. But last night was probably one of the most awkward moments of my life. I am trying a new medication prescribed to me from my doctor. And I know the judgment that I will face when I say that it is a weight loss drug, but it is a very safe weight loss drug. It's mostly there to curb appetite and curb cravings is what it does. A lot of people are going to say, Boogie, you don't need that poison, you don't need that stuff. My doctor disagrees at this point, and I disagree at this point after 5 years of trying to do this through self-will, discipline, and everything else. We need a little medical help, and I'm okay with that. I'm so ready for medical help that if I can ever qualify for bariatric surgery, get the gastric sleeve or the bypass, whichever, I'm willing to get it. And this is a step in that direction. At this point, I think my doctor said this, pretty close to this. He said that the side effects of any drug are better than the side effect of your current weight and size. And I think that's correct. I think that's correct. And you may not agree, and that's fine. And I know you've got a diet plan for me. Just eat beans. If you only eat beans, you'll lose weight. Don't ever eat meat. Eat only meat. I know. There's a million different diet plans, and those plans probably have worked for you, and I'm so grateful. Unfortunately, with my eating disorder, with my mental state, it's pretty fucking tough to do what I need to do. A little medical help is certainly not going to hurt. And I say that for anybody out there who's suffering from anything. If you're in pain, use fucking painkillers. That's what they're there for. If you're depressed, take some mood-altering drugs that will help you. That's the whole purpose of the entire system. That's why it exists. That's why it's there. Don't be afraid to accept help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. I've been so afraid my whole life, and that's what got me into the situation that I'm in today. Had I worked with a doctor when I was in my 20s, I don't think I would have ever gotten to the size that I've gotten to. Now, that said, let's talk about the downside. I did not realize that I had to take this medication exactly 12 hours apart because the medication on the bottle simply said 2 days a day, 2 doses a day. So I ended up taking my second dose a little too close to the first one. And this is the first time ever taking it. Well, the results were displeasing to say the least. It definitely altered my mood and made me more anxious than I've been in a really long time, which led to a total meltdown, just a complete meltdown. Like something I haven't done since my 20s. Then it resulted in my heart fluttering and my head getting swimmy and dizzy and giving me a severe headache. So the medication says to immediately contact your doctor. I endured the symptoms for about an hour. Did not know what it was afraid it was not related to the medication, but simply could be precursor to an actual heart attack. Me and my wife decided to pack everything up, go into the ER to see what was going on. Well, it turns out that the only thing that I did wrong was take the medication too close to the other medication, which doubled down on the symptoms and made me feel a little shitty. My heart is in good shape, surprisingly. My blood pressure was in reasonable shape. Surprisingly, my blood work came back fine. Surprisingly. This medication will probably be compatible if I do take it as instructed. If not, we'll go off of it and try something new. But it was a very scary, very expensive 24 hours. Now, I have to say, our new insurance policy that just kicked in, we got it through the healthcare exchange. It is very expensive insurance. Our monthly premium is very, very, very expensive. I won't say how much, but to cover me and my wife, it's a bigger number than I'm comfortable saying out loud. But that said, it covers me, and it covers my wife, and it does a very good job of it. It's amazing that I was able to simply purchase insurance. And I know that there's downsides to the whole system that we now have with the healthcare exchange and everything else. But I had been uninsurable the majority of my life. And now, finally, me and my wife can get insurance, and it's great. And you know what? I can say this unironically. Thanks, Obama. I saw Hank Green say that in one of his videos when he was able to purchase healthcare for the first time in his life as well. And I'm so grateful. I feel exactly the same way, Hank, if you ever see this. Thanks, Obama. I really appreciate you fixing that for me. Because otherwise, last night, instead of going to the ER, I would have sat in my house and waited to die, as I'd done so many times before. I have dental insurance for the first time in my life. I'm finally going to be able to get these fucking teeth fixed. You've seen them. And don't pretend you haven't. Don't pretend you haven't. One day I'll show you my actual inside of my mouth. The day before I go into the dentist to get it fixed, I'll finally make a video showing exactly what the inside of my mouth looks like. But it looks like meth mouth. It's bad. It's bad in there. That's just one of the things I deal with. But here's what has struck me in the last 24 hours. As anxious as I've been and out of control with that anxiety as I've been, as much pain as I've been in, as scared as I have been, with the heart palpitations and everything else, I realized that, yeah, that stuff sucks. But I am absurdly lucky. I am absurdly lucky. Number one, let's just face the facts. I'm a 42-year-old fatty. I have reached the square middle of middle life. And to say that is a miracle, because a lot of people my size don't make it as old as I have. And that alone, just to still be alive, is a fucking miracle, and I'm grateful for it. Secondly, to be able to still walk a little bit and still move around a little bit, to be able to drive a car, to be able to get out of bed. I know a lot of people my size who are not able to do that stuff anymore. I'm so grateful for that. But how wonderful is it that I had access to health care, that I have access to the medication that I'm taking, access to the stuff that keeps me alive, that I can afford it thanks to YouTube, thanks to Twitch, thanks to you. I'm one of the luckiest people in the world. So I can really sit here and think, oh, it sucks having to be on these meds. It sucks having to see my doctor twice a month. It sucks having to get in this blood work. It sucks having to go to the ER. It sucks having these symptoms. It sucks having the pain. And yet, that's true. That's true. That's one way to look at it. But I try desperately to never look at it that way. Instead, I try to think about how lucky I am to have survived it. That's true of my entire life. How lucky I am to have survived it. And when you look at things that way, it makes you pretty happy. And I'm pretty damn happy right now. But they gave me a sedative at the ER, and 12 hours later, I'm still feeling it. It was especially terrible at the ER because I was like hallucinating and just, it was bad. It was bad. I did not like sedatives, but they wanted to get my heart rate reasonable so they could let me go home. I did not like sedatives. But I don't like medication in general. But I take it because I have to. But, I mean, what I really have to do is lose some fucking weight and treat the source of these symptoms and not the fucking symptoms. But that's what the new drug I'm taking now is designed entirely to do. That's actually their byline. Let's stop treating the symptoms of obesity and start treating the obesity. That's exactly why they invented the pill that I'm on. If you ever want me to know, I'll tell you the name of the pill. I just don't want to promote it. I don't want you going home and asking your doctor for it in case it turns out to suck. And it looks like it's going to turn out to suck for me anyway. So we'll see. But if it's successful, yeah, I'll share it with you. All right, guys. Well, I should wrap this up. I wanted to do a real video today, but I've got no sleep and I've gotten so sick and I feel so just wiped out mentally and physically in every possible way. So me and Sammy are just going to go play some World of Warcraft and chill, eat dinner with my wife, have a little bit of fun, get ready for my Saturday night, tomorrow night with my family, my friends, and hopefully I'll snap out of all this by then. I don't know if this is a regret to film this. I don't know if I'll regret filming this in the way that I feel right now, and I'm sure it's coming across as maybe a little scary for you guys, but I want you to know that I'm okay. I'm happy. I'm doing all right. Even with all that, I'm very, very lucky. And why don't we use that as the keyword of this video? If you use the word lucky in your comment, I'll know that you made it all the way to the end of this video. Say if you're lucky in some way, if you want to get lucky, if you realize that I'm lucky, if Lucky's Tale is a video game you've played, which I have played it, it's not very good. But whatever, let me know in the comment section below. Guys, thanks for watching. I love you very much, and I'll speak with you again soon. Good boy.